Hello everyone. Today in this video we are going to discuss about the problems on the model 1. Few problems have to be discussed. So we'll go one by one. Let's go through the theory part of the model 1 in the earlier video step and then get back to this problem. So it will be useful while solving this one. First one, the latching current of a thyristor circuit is 50 milliamps. So what do you mean by latching current? It is the minimum current required for a SCR to get on or a thyristor to get on. That is, the minimum current has to be maintained above which it will start to work. So that latching current is nothing but the 50 milliamps given for the given circuit here. The duration of the firing pulse is 50 microsecond. Will the thyristor get fired? So I have to check the using the 50 microsecond, that's the duration for a firing pulse. I have to check whether it is above 50 milliamps or below 50 milliamps, and I have to check whether the thyristor will get on or not. So if the circuit given is of 100 volts, the source, and it is having a SCR, that is we call it as a T1, and it is connected to 20 ohms and a 0.5 Henry of inductor. Okay, and SCR is triggered, the current will rise exponentially in the inductive element because of this presence of this inductive element. So now I can write that I of t. So I have to find I of t. So I of t is equals to V by R, that is voltage divided by resistance, into 1 minus e to the power of minus t divided by tau. E to the power of minus t divided by tau. But we have not given any tau value here. So we can write tau as L by R. That is 0.5 divided by 20 is equals to 0.0255. 0.0255. So I'll substitute those values here. I'll substitute the value here, the tau, and t value is nothing but 50 microsecond. 1 minus e to the power of 50 microsecond divided by 0.0255 into V by R, 100 volts divided by R is 20. So what is that? Because it is a time duration of 50 microsecond, I have to mention it. So I am checking for I of t, what is the current at the time of 50 microsecond, the firing pulse. So that is nothing but, when I substitute and I get the values here, I have already substituted the t value here. So that time it is getting 9.99 milliamps, 9.99 milliamps. So what is that? It is less than the latching current, 50 milliamps. Since the circuit current value is less than given latching current value of SCR, it will not get fired. Yes or no? Because the latching current is 50 milliamps. So what is the at 50 microsecond current? It is less than latching current. So it will not make this thyristor on. If it was 99.9, it would have triggered off. That means thyristor on. So anything more than 50 milliamps, it will be triggering on. That's the concept of the latching current. Next, if the latching current in the circuit shown below is 4 milliamps, obtain the minimum width of the gating pulse required to properly turn on the SCR. So from the circuit we can make it V is equals to L into di by dt. V is equals to L into di by dt. What I require is the T. What I required is the T. So there, where I is the latching current here, T is the pulse width, dt, I can resubstitute here, dt into is equals to L divided by V into di. Integrating on the both the side, T is equals to L divided by V into I. This is what the minimum time required. They have told minimum width required. So I'll substitute this one as T minimum. L is equals to 0.1, V is equals to 100 into I. 4 into 10 to the power of minus 3, 4 microsecond. So this is the 4 microsecond of the pulse width is required when the the lighting current is 4 milliamp for this circuit. So if you have pulse width of 4 microsecond, then that lighting current is properly on. Now for an SCR, the gate cathode characteristic is given by a straight line with a gradient of 16 volts per amp passing through the origin. The maximum turn on time is 4 microsecond and minimum gate current required to obtain this quick turn on is 500 milliamp. If the gate source voltage is 15 volts, if a gate source voltage is 15 volts, what we have to do, calculate the resistance to be connected in series with the SCR gate. B, compute the gate power dissipation given that the pulse width is equal to the turn on time and that the average gate power dissipation is 0.34 watts, 0.3 watts. Also, compute the maximum triggering frequency that will be possible when pulse firing is used. So we have to calculate here. First one, the resistance to be connected in series with the SCR gate, and we have to also to compute the gate power dissipation. Okay, if the average power dissipation is 0.3 watts, and to calculate the maximum triggering frequency that is possible when pulse firing is used. Now given Ig minimum is equals to 500 milliamps, or we can write it as 0.25 amps. You can see it here. They have given here that is 500 milliamp. Okay. Next, we'll look at the circuit. This is the EGS value, that is the power source that is connected in series with this one, and that is an anode and a cathode. So I am not required of interested in other thing. I am just required of this loop here, and they have given us that the straight line with the gradient of 16 volts per amps, that is a VG divided by IG. What is VG here? That is connected from here to here. Okay, so IG is this one. So VG is what now? VG is equals to 16 into IG. IG is what? 0.5. They already mentioned here, 500 milliamps there. IG is not the minimum gate current required to trigger it on there. 8 volts. A. And then this is what we got from the thing. Now I have to mention the resistance to be connected in series. So what is that? We can make it in the KVL loop. What is KVL? EGS is equals to RS into IG minus VG. Okay, not minus RS into IG plus VG here, because this and this plus and plus it is. So that time RS into IG plus VG. Okay, but what I required is the RS. So what I will do, RS is equals to EGS minus VG divided by IG. So V by I, R into V by I, the Ohm's law. Or V is equals to I into R, that's the thing. So V is equals to EGS minus VG divided by IG. 15 minus VG is what? 8 volts divided by IG, 0.5. So that is what? 14 ohms. Now B, that is PG is equals to VG into IG. So what is the power dissipation there factor? Okay. So what is that? VG into IG. That is VG 8. IG is what? The 0.5. So that is nothing but 4 watts. But what we need to require the frequency there. So what we know, PG max is equals to PG average, that's the average power dissipation, and this is what the maximum power dissipation. The maximum power dissipation is what? 4 watts, and average power dissipation is 0.3 watts, that we have already given there. So F is equals to PG average divided by PG max, that will come here because F is the unknown also. So now 0.3 into 10 to the power of 6, because they have mentioned the 0.3 here. Okay, 0.3 10 to the power of 6 is why? Because the T on period is 4 microseconds. So I have shifted it directly here. 4 microsecond is nothing but here So 10 to the power of 6, 4 into 10 to the power of 6, that is 10 to the power of minus 6, it will be, if you go up, it will be 10 to the power of 6. So PG max we know that is a 4 watts. So when I calculate this one, I will get it as 19 kilohertz. I will get it as 19 kilohertz. This question looks bigger, but the content what is there is a little smaller here. Next one. This is regarding the firing circuits. The R firing circuit uses an SCR with Ig minimum is equals to 0.1 milliamps. 0.1 milliamps. Vg minimum is equals to 0.5 volts. The diode is silicon and the peak amplitude of the input is 24 volts. Determine the triggering angle alpha for for Rb is equals to 100 kilo ohm and R minimum is equals to 10 kilo ohms. So for that we need to make it a one circuit, that is the R firing circuit, that is connected to the load, and then we have a thyristor here, and this is Rb and this is Vd, and because the diode has been there, and Rv, that is the variable resistance here, and this is the minimum resistance. When I apply a loop, to this way, that is ES is equals to Ig into Rv plus R minimum, the same gate current will be flowing here, plus Vd plus Vg. ES is equals to Ig into, I require only this one because I need to find what is the source current will be coming here, and that will be acquired here. So this is what the normal, but at a triggering point, ES trigger, this when will start, when we have triggered the gate there. For that purpose, ES trigger is equals to, I have to mention it at the triggering point, I have to mention that time only I will get Ig. So ES into is the trigger is nothing but Ig is what, 0.1 milli, and then into 100k, that is the R minimum is 10k, Rv is equals to 100k, plus, as they have mentioned it as a diode of silicon, the maximum voltage drop is what, 0.7 plus 0.5 of a Vg, what they have mentioned there, the gate voltage gate required. When I calculate, I will get around 12.2 volts. So this is what this source we have been provided here. The ES is what, 12.2 volts. So I got the ES. So I can calculate now what is the angle there. How? ES is equals to EM max into sine omega t. That is what the general formula. E max is what, and sine omega is what, 2 pi f. So sine 2 pi ft is there, and we can represent 2 pi ft as alpha, because that is the what alpha value, the triggering angle what we use there, into, and E max is equals to 24 volts. So we have mentioned here the maximum voltage there, E max. ES is what now, 12.2 volts, we have got it here, 24 into sine alpha. So that is what, 12.2 divided by 24, sine inverse of it is nothing but the alpha. What is the value we got? 30.6 degree. 30.6 degree. For this we need to have idea of the circuit there. Without that circuit we cannot analyze the circuit. We need to understand this circuit with the theory part there, R firing. So what we have to do in general, first we have to take a loop here and find the ES. If ES is given, we can skip off till here. ES is given, you can directly get alpha. So, but in order to find ES, because across in R firing, what is across the ES and load will be the same there. Depending on the alpha, we need to generate it. Next, Re is equals to 1 kilo ohm and Ib is equals to 5 milliamp. Determine the value of VE, which will cause the UJT to turn on. This problem is on UJT. I think in UJT we need to know that the graph there, which is the negative resistance region, which is the saturation region, which is the cutoff region. So on that basis we need to understand. Okay, they have given at value point VE, so that is VE is equals to VV. Okay, and this is the general consideration what we need to consider for UJT. VV is equals to VV is equals to 2 volts. And also IV they have given, that is nothing but IE is equals to IV is equals to 5 milliamp. That is at the value point. In the graph we have to, that is explanation has been done there. By KVL, what it is, VE is nothing but IE into RE plus VE. This is related to the ammeter. Okay, so that purpose IE into RE plus VE. So what is the IE is nothing but the 5 milliamps into RE is 1 kilo plus 2. So when I multiply this one, I get the 7 volts there. But VE is less than 7 volt. So what is that? If VE is less than 7 volt, the UJT will switch back to the off state. So minimum voltage has to be provided is that the 7 volts. If it is more than 7 volts, that time the UJT will be on. If it is less than 7 volts, the UJT will be off. Next, design a UJT relaxation oscillator for a triggering SCR. The UJT has the following characteristic: eta is equals to 0.7, IP is equals to 50 microamp, VV is equals to 2 volts, IV is equals to 6 milliamps, VBB is equals to 20 volts, RBB is equal to 7 kilo ohms, IEO is 2 milliamps. This is the reverse current what is flowing there, emitter. Also determine the limits for output frequency of the oscillator. Okay, here we are not given with the C value. I am considering, let C is equals to 0.1 microfarad. Let C is equals to 0.1 microfarad. R max is equals to the, what is the thing we need to find? We have to design it. R max, R minimum, then we need to find R2 and R1. This resistance value has to find. Rest all they have given. Okay. So what is R max? Is nothing but VBB into 1 minus neta divided by IP. This is again we have derived it in our theory part here. So also go through the UJT part and then solve these problems. VBB is nothing but 20 volts. Neta is nothing but 0.7, substitute, and divided by IP. IP is nothing 50 micro. Okay, 50 micro. So that time when I substitute it here, it will come. I have not tried in a micro here, so just make a note of that one. 50 micro. When I substitute it here and calculate, I will get a 120 kilo ohm is equals to next 120 kilo ohm is for R max. Now R minimum. VBB minus VV divided by IB. Here what is the advantage is they have not given as VB or VE and IE and all. We have to assume that at value point nothing they have given. They have given directly the values. Just we need to substitute those. VBB is what? The same is the 20 volts minus VV is 2 volts divided by IV. IV is 6 milliamps. Substitute the values and we get 3 kilo ohms. Next, R2. This is what the approximation we can tell that R2 is equals to 10 to the power of 4 divided by neta into VBB. That is what 10 to the power of 4 divided by neta is 0.7 into 20. So R2 is equals to 714.29 ohm. Next, R1 is equals to VG minimum divided by IEO. VG minimum is not given, so we assume VG minimum as a 0.2 volts approximately. So divided by 2 into 10 to the power of minus 3. And when you substitute and we get the values, we will get in terms of 100 ohms. Now what they have told at the last question, please define the output frequency of the oscillator, the limits for output frequency, the minimum and the maximum frequency. For that I need to calculate T max and T minimum, because F is equals to 1 by T. T max is equals to R max into C into log E to the into the 1 minus 1 divided by 1 minus neta. R max we know that is 120 kilo, C we know 0.1 microfarad, log E into the 1 by 1 minus 0.7. When I calculate the swing, it will get in terms of 14.44 millisecond. And when we go for T minimum is equals to R minimum, that is what is the value, is the 3 kilo ohms into C is the 0.1 microfarad, log E into 1 by 1 minus 0.7, so that is 0.36 millisecond. And remember one thing, this is F minimum is equals to 1 by T max. It should be a reverse there, because F minimum increases, T max decreases, so that should be the thing. Okay, as T max increases here, the F minimum also increases here. So that is the thing. So that is the reverse order here. F minimum is equals to 1 by T max is equals to 14.1 by 14.44 millisecond is equals to 70.72 hertz. F max is equals to 1 by 1 minus 1 F max is 1 by 1 T minimum, T 0.36 milli is equals to 2.78 kilohertz. So what is the thing we have to analyze here? If F minimum has to increase, T max also has to increase. Okay. So as T, sorry, not ulta, so reverse there. F minimum value will again decrease if a T max value will increase. F max also, if it has to increase, the T minimum value has to be decreased. So this is what the assumption we need to make. So just we need to write whatever the things in the formula, substitute the thing and get the values. The whatever the problems I have taken is from the MD Singh and KP Kanchandani. It's a reference textbook mentioned by the VTU. Other two are the other additional references. Okay. This is what the module 1 problems. Please, when you are going through this, please have a idea of basic idea of the theory part of this related topics. Thank you.